Hello. So we're going to talk about the thing that makes me the most successful with nutrition, exercising, staying healthy, staying on track. The first and foremost thing that I do is I have a calendar with everything that's going on in my life, which there's a lot. So I have, Sunday through Saturday, everything that's booked, scheduled, and planned ahead of time meetings. Do I get it wrong? Absolutely. In fact, this morning I thought my son had an awards program and I got it wrong. However, for the most part, it keeps me on track. So I put my appointments in and then I look for gaps in those appointments and gaps in my day to be able to get in steps and to be able to get in a workout or a part of a workout, because sometimes I have to break my workout up in multiple times throughout the day. Then I look ahead for the evenings. What are the evenings going to look like? And what kind of meals are going to work best for those evenings so that I can plan ahead and not have a meal that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of energy and thought and all that kind of stuff. And then when I start planning my meals, I figure out what am I going to have leftovers for to have my lunches to use for my lunches. And then my breakfast is very boring. I have a protein oatmeal almost every morning. And if I don't have that, then I have eggs with a thin bagel and turkey sausage. I haven't had that in a while. I've been doing the oatmeal for the fiber reasons because I add stuff to make it high in fiber. So here's what I do. I Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day I decide to sit down and plan. I go through either Pinterest lately. I've not been exactly doing this, but this is one of the ways that I do it. Go through Pinterest, look for recipes. I look at the ingredients and see, okay, can I make this work for me? So this creamy sauce, this can get you in trouble. So I can recreate this sauce using Greek yogurt, using Fairlife ultra filtered milk that's higher in protein and lower in fat. And then the butter, I can still do the butter because I've substituted. I just won't use as much cheese as they're calling for in this recipe. So this recipe I can work with. I can make it work for me. And then I'll look and see like how labor intensive is this recipe? Are there things that I can make ahead of time possibly? I don't tend to do things ahead of time, but if that's the kind of thing you want to do, then that's something that you can look ahead of time and figure out. Are the kids going to like it? Am I going to be able to? So my kids do really well if I break it up into components versus giving them a dish that looks like this picture. They don't do well with that because somebody's going to complain about the sauce. Somebody's going to want the rice plain. Somebody's not going to want seasoning on their chicken or they want less of it. So I tend to look for recipes that fit everybody's needs because I don't like cooking extra and I don't. And then, of course, this is going to need some vegetables, right? So I have to think ahead about what kind of vegetables are we going to add to this? Like we can add it to the mix or we can add it to the side. We tend to have a medley of vegetables to let everybody pick what they want because kids are picky, but I want them to have some vegetables. So they get to pick their vegetables as far as that goes. So I get the recipes or write down all the ingredients that I need for the week of all the recipes that I'm going to make. And if I'm not going to have leftovers or I foresee that leftovers are going to be an issue, then I make sure and order things that work for me for lunch. So it might be sandwiches, it might be tuna, it might be wraps, it might be lately it's Kevin's Natural Food. You can get that at Kroger, Walmart, Tom Thumb, and I get it at our Aldi's. And it's just meat with sauce separated, and you can put it together, warm it up, put it together. And you can use as much or as little sauce as you want, and I add mixed greens, and it's a salad basically with the dressing being the sauce. So I go through each day on the calendar and I put exactly what meal I'm going to make for dinner, what lunches I foresee happening. I make sure I have a good amount of healthy snacks, and I'll either plug those in or just write a list of the things that I have available, and that's what I'm going to choose for the week. And then my breakfast pretty much stays the same because I tend to not do great in the mornings, and so I need something super easy, and I don't want to have to think a lot. This is absolutely how you can become successful at staying on track. Setting aside time, 1 day a week to just plan. And are things going to go haywire sometimes? Absolutely. But we're not just going to go completely off track just because we've had a bad day or a bad week. We'll start again, start again, start again, start again. And eventually you're going to get the hang of it. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be something you're not going to enjoy at first, but eventually it's going to come easier and easier and easier. Just like with your kids, you tell them you're not going to understand this math right at first or whatever the problem they're going through. Reading, it takes practice. This takes practice. You've got it. Uh-oh, I don't know how to stop this. There.